Good morning, everybody. Welcome to October 10th market update. Uh, we are doing so far this morning. There is nothing major news that's out there. This whole bunch of small little news. But before I get started here, I just want to mention quickly that I am out of serve stock this morning. This is because they're issuing more shares. They just came out about half an hour ago with the news. And I just right after that, basically, I sold the stock that I had because the stock is headed lower. Well, discuss that in a minute, but it's up to you if you have a stock, whether what you want to do with it. But my opinion is when there is a stock that starts issuing shares, normally the stock starts going down, and there are a lot of companies that are doing it because the prices. Why they're doing it? Because the prices went up. कई स्टॉक है ਜਿਹੜੇ the prices are to the upside and ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਸਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ it's overpriced I think ਮਹਿੰਗੀਆਂ so I'm not gonna stick around in a stock that's gonna issue some shares so that's what I don't like about when the market is going like this and companies usually their shares price goes up and then they all of a sudden offer more shares to raise money. That's usually to sometimes the company doesn't have any revenue, doesn't have a proper product, or a lot of these guys may once they raise money, the stock goes down, and usually half of the time, the stock never goes back up again, and that's because they're just they gotta. First of all, they went up for a reason with the rest of the stocks. Like AI, you mentioned AI, all the stocks go up. Then all of a sudden, they don't have any product line, but they raise money, and that's it. It has happened in '99. Same thing. That's why the companies went bankrupt. A lot of them. They were going up in price. Then they would offer shares at a higher price, and then the price would come down. They never go back up. So this is basically could be the same. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I don't know if I'm gonna buy a dip on this one, Gurkeith. But when the company starts offering shares like this here, I tend to stay away from them. Because what are they using that money for, right? That's the problem with me, right? You're talking right. So that's the problem. Now, I'll talk about more of these companies with more issue of shares, and I'll explain a little more further why I tend to what my experience with them is, because a lot of these companies do offer a lot of shares out there, and because the shares ran up in price because of AI. If you look at these days, everything's going up. It's not because they're generating any revenue or they came out with a great product out there. They're basically going up because of AI. And as the price goes up, what they do is they issue shares at a higher price. Okay? So that's why I'm a little more focused on solid, fundamental, strong stocks. That's why I like to hold those at the end. But we want to take a risk. It's not we don't want to take a risk with these kind of stocks, right? We do want to take a risk, but you only want to limit your risk to very small on this stuff, okay? So once this stuff does come down, or if the does market crash, so you got to be very careful that which stocks are going to go back, okay? So when you do buy a stock like risky stocks like these, especially now AI, everybody mentions AI. Do look out. Go check their product. Are they making revenue? Is the product good? Is their technology good? Okay, those are the kind of things you want to consider before you hang on to those kind of stocks for a long time. Okay, so please do remember that. I seen a lot of companies go bankrupt in '99. They just mentioned when back then internet was a big thing, so all they had to do was mention internet. Hey, we're going to do this, or we're going to create this and that. But after a while, they all died. A lot of them, like 80% of those companies, never came back. Who survived? Amazon. Amazon survived, right? I don't know if you guys remember, there was a company called America Online on internet, came on in the internet, America Online. Eventually, they got bought out, but they were going bankrupt, right? And it was one of the biggest companies back in '99, America Online, and they went they went except I think they had a like a almost multi-billion-dollar market cap on that stock, and eventually they were just going to go bankrupt till somebody bought them out. Okay, so we've got to be very careful at companies that we invest in, especially when the prices are going up and the stock market is going up. Okay, so let's talk about the market, where the market is sitting this morning. ES futures is a chart that we should be looking at in front of you. Okay, so the market is for the last 5-6 candles been kind of stuck at the sideways here. You can almost say it's creating like a bullish flag to the upside right now. Okay, so whether it will break to the upside here above this 6809, that's where we're looking for a breakout on the ES futures if it goes above that. But other than that, I do think the market is going to continue to the sideways. There's no data coming out. The government has asked the BLS to start preparing the CPI data. CPI data is supposed to come out next week, but it's going to be delayed. I think it's going to come by the end of the month. And they're asking the BLS to get ready. And the reason they need the CPI data, because that's the cost that they use for inflation gauge to hand benefits. Okay, hand benefit. Even my company, pension fund, they use the CPI data. Well, they use the Canadian data. They don't use the American data to figure out what kind of COLA or living expenses that are part of the benefits that people get, or what percentage they add that in there. So they need that data. That's the reason they're coming out in about 2 weeks. I don't think they're coming out next week. They're going to be late. So 2 weeks, we're going to see CPI data. Today, we're going to see the Michigan confidence data, which is I'm going to bring right in front of you here. This is coming around 10 o'clock. This is not the government data. This is University of Michigan data. So that's the only thing we're going to see this morning here. Where is it? We're not gonna see these any other data right there at 10 o'clock. But we are going to see the Canadian employment change and employment data. We're going to see if the Canadian market, whether they're going to drop interest rates or not. And that's going to determine on this job report as well, which is coming out in about 8:30. And the last time the Canadian data came out was very negative. See, they lost over 65,500 jobs on that last report. So what are they going to do this time? If we see another number like this, 65,500, they should cut interest rate by half a point. Okay, not quarter point, but a half a point. The Canadian unemployment rate is also going up from 7.1 to 7.2. That's what they're showing forecast, but we'll see what it looks like in about 5 minutes. So that data is coming out in about that in short term. We have also FOMC member Slum talking in a few minutes as well. But that's around 1 p.m. So let's move this data aside. Let's continue with the market. That is what the ES futures doing. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is very similar, continues to the upside. All these companies announcing, they're announcing between them all this deals, and those deals keep pushing the NASDAQ to the upside. But there is, again, that data, there's no money being exchanged between companies. And as the money doesn't get exchanged, this basically runs on fumes. It's like you got a very little gas left in the car, but it's just running on fumes. And that's what this NASDAQ, I think, is running up on, is on fumes, because this data that they're going back and forth with, I see Oracle's making deals, I see NVIDIA making deals, AMD making deals, Intel making deals. None of them are cash exchanged, okay? Nothing is cash exchange. So very similar to what I saw back in 99. So we'll see what happens. Nobody's going to believe this until actually we got to, kind of crash to the downside. Everybody's happy because the market keeps going up. It's holding this tight, but sooner or later, it's got to give. Okay, something's got to give. The Dow Jones, this is a true picture, actually. I can't believe the Dow Jones got only 30 stocks, but they are really showing what the economy should be doing, what the stock market really should be doing. So in the last 4 candles, this market has been pretty much holding sideways to lower. So the Dow 30 is actually showing us a little bit of true picture in the last 4 or 5 candles here. But again, it broke finally. Remember this year we talked about this, finally broke to the upside, but it's holding nicely to the upside. So I would watch this candle. I'm watching this one here very closely. This trend line here. If it breaks to the downside, I'm gonna be short, definitely. IWM. I'm gonna sell this today. I'm really gonna. I'm gonna sell my half of my position, which I bought at 234. I am selling it, guys. I'm gonna take it. If it's up to you if you want to take it or not. It's just me raising more money, more cash. So I'm gonna. It's 246.12 this morning. I've been watching the short. I think this stuff is gonna go up with the interest rate cuts, but I think it's already gone up a lot on IWM. I am gonna take a profit this morning. Oil, this is what I worry about. Oil is headed to the downside, $55. Remember that below the golden line. Be short on oil, and this is really telling us a little more picture on how the use of oil is happening. And this is actually showing a little bit less and less recession that's in the U.S. There is a recession in the U.S. right now, whether it's a small or big. It is there right now, and it's a lot of people saying only reason nobody believes there's a recession is because the stock market keeps going to the upside. Okay, but there is. If you go look at a lot of people don't have jobs. Trucking industry is really getting in bad shape down there, and you can see a lot of people here. They're going into the U.S. with a load, but they're not coming back with the loads. Okay, I've been talking to a lot of people, and that's pretty much what they've been showing. If you have any information or you think your opinion, you're more than welcome to share it here. So I think this negativity, I think we're gonna see it in oil. There's no other indicator. We don't get the jobs report. We don't get anything else from the U.S. government. So we're gonna see it in the commodity index. So the commodities are gonna show that they're, especially like oil, are gonna show to the downside. Okay, and the VIX hasn't gone anywhere, basically going sideways, so nothing is going on in the market. You will see this pop if there's something happens. The 10-year has come down a little bit, and it's showing, the 10-year is finally showing a little bit that the US economy is not doing well. Okay, this is also pushing to the downside. This is nothing else to do with it. It just, there is indication that the US economy is not doing well. If the US economy is not doing well, you're going to see the 10-year come down to the downside, and you will also see the dollar come down as well. So this is taking a little, this is a little bit of good sign here. Okay, a little bit of good sign to the downside. So the 10-year. Okay. That something is going on in the market. And if you look at the put call ratio and the triple Q call ratio, they went all towards the put side, and the put side is saying the market is going to come down, but we'll see what happens at 9:30 the market opens. What Bitcoin is sitting at 121. Still it's in a bullish pattern. It's not negative. Just quickly, the Canadian jobs came out, guys. I just want to show you what happened here. Here we go. Canadian jobs report. I cannot believe this. How can you lose 65,000 jobs in one and gain 60,000 jobs back? Okay, this is incredible. And actually the unemployment rate went to the downside, right? So last month we lost 65,000 jobs in Canada, and we gained nearly the same amount back. I don't know if I want to believe this data. I really don't want to. I really have a hard time. But wow, this wows me. So this basically what tells us that the Canadian stock market should do well. Okay, 60,000 jobs. Wow, I have to really take a close look at this data. What kind of jobs were there that they came up with? So I will share that data right after after Harvey does market update. I will bring this data up from the Canadian government. What kind of jobs were added in here? Okay, I will break this thing down for you. I'll show you where to get this data. Okay, we'll do that after Harvey does his market update. But I'm going to continue with this one so far. Bitcoin like I was talking about, it's waiting for the rate cuts, and that's basically what Bitcoin is. It's waiting for rate cuts so people can have more liquidity and buy. And yesterday I mentioned the 10-year raised over $22 billion. They printed $22 billion yesterday in the U.S., and that's gotta go somewhere. Okay, so it didn't actually go in the gold yesterday. So where did the 22 billion go? Is it going in the Bitcoin? So it is going somewhere. So let's take a look uh, where um, where this money went here. Where is gold? GC. Gold is sitting over 4K. And again, if you have gold, hang on to it. Very bullish. Continue to hold gold. And ever since, if you bought it back here, well, congratulations to you, and you can still hold on to gold. I think there's no negativity in gold right now. It's the most secure trade out there right now. Okay, gold continues to go up. And let's talk about some again stocks. Let's talk about I talked about server already. Let's talk about some of the stocks in the list. I know Gurkeet put a whole bunch of them in here. You can take a look at it. I like IBM still. This is, IBM still one of my favorite stocks to go up a long term. I'm not selling it. IBM has come down a little bit. If anybody's interested, I wouldn't buy it. If you have not bought IBM, wait. Let it come down further. I think it will come down further. It will give you a dip buy. But this candle here on the top that happened 3 days ago, this is a negative candle. Remember the shooting star? This was a shooting star. These candles are starting to become negative up here. When candles start getting negative around this zone, because remember the price originally came in here, got pushed all the way to the downside. And now the price looks like this is in the same area, may get pushed on to the downside. Remember, the stocks go up and down, right? So they all don't go straight up. IBM will eventually go up, but it will give you a dip buy. Okay, so I will definitely hang on to these ones here. Take a look at some of the favorite ones here. Snow. Let's take a look at Snow. Snow has been flying to the upside as well. Again, Snow is breaking out, guys. This is to the upside. So if you want to trade this for a day trade, you can, but keep a tight stop on the way to the downside. So it looks like a breakout here to the upside. When it's in black space, it can go very quickly to the upside. So Snowflake goes up and down in dollars. Okay, so if you're looking to buy this one, yeah, buy it. But again, you could day trade this stuff. Okay, but keep a tight stop. Okay, I wanted to look at APLD. That's another favorite stock here. Applied Digital. This is continuous to the upside. We originally brought these stocks back here. See the green line here, and if you bought it back there and you're still holding it, that's fantastic. Keep up, and but put a stop below this candle here around 27. Okay, and keep moving your stops up again for a stock like this. Yeah, this is a nuclear stock, NNE. This is the one I own too. This is a nuclear reactor, nano ones. I talked about this stock many times. I think this stock is good for long term, even though it's a very risky stock. But this is one of those stocks that has a good technology. That's what you need to look at when you hold a stock like this, like Serve and all these stocks. You have to do your homework on it. Okay, and I did my homework on NNE. I like this stock. I like it for long term. I think it will make good money. I think could be an opportunity to buy on this dip. It would be even better if it could come down a little more further, but I do like this stock. It's one of my favorite ones to hang on to, NNE. Okay. What else is looking good in here? We'll take a look at Plug. We looked at it the other day. Ballard Power, both of them are hydrogen, and again, this giving a little bit of dip here. Very small. If you're gonna buy these stocks, buy a very small portion of your portfolio. Okay, don't take a huge risk in them. Okay, they are very risky stocks. If they do find R&D good on hydrogen, and these stocks can make a lot of money very fast to the upside. Okay, so be very careful, but do all you gotta own some risk in the market, right? So that's what you gotta do. Let's take a look at some of the news on the markets. One of the things is rare earth stocks. U.S. has very tightened up their USAR, I think was one rare earth. This is the one in the U.S. government is investing. It's pushing these stocks to the upside because if you overnight the China has tightened its grip on supplies. They don't want because they don't want the supplies going into the U.S. Okay, U.S. I'll tell you why why China is upset and they're controlling this rare earth in a minute here because of the news release overnight. China they put a stranglehold on this stock here. USA the US has made an investment in this stock. It's ever since it's been just flying to the upside, and today they're going even more up because like I said, China put a like a lock on rare earths, and same thing with lithium. Lithium is kind of boosting. I think this is probably a better stock if you want to jump into this one. Again, keep a tight stop. These stocks are very risky, but they can also make a good short-term money as well. Okay, LSC, USAR. I don't have either one of them. Okay, I'm not in them, but I do want to mention them because they could fly to the upside today. Okay, USAR. And what's also going happening in the market? The U.S. is sending 200 troops into the Middle East. Okay, to keep peace in Gaza. That peace deal they signed. I like the peace deal. I don't want any more people killed. It's nice to have that peace deal and work something out after that. What between Gaza and Israel? Who knows what's going to come? But at least there'll be no more killing. Okay, and Donald Trump and the U.S. are buying 200, not 200, 20 billion of Argentinian money, pesos. They're investing in that country. I don't know why they're doing it. I think they're doing it because the Argentina president has come to the U.S. He talked really nicely, propped up Donald Trump, and and they're selling 20 billion pesos and for American money. So he hyped up Donald Trump. Argentina has gone bankrupt as a country twice in the last 20 years. They gone bankrupt. Our entire country has gone bankrupt. How does a country goes bankrupt? When they refuse to pay the bonds. They issue bonds like U.S. issuing all these 20-year bonds, 15 years bond, 10-year bonds. And when, let's say the U.S. refuses to pay those bonds, that's when you call the country bankrupt. And Argentina went bankrupt twice. So nobody actually wants to buy Argentina bonds anymore. So the U.S. is stepping in and buying their $20 billion worth of pesos. Okay, so sweet talking Donald Trump can get you whatever you want. Okay, so Ray Dalio, I don't know if anybody knows, he's a big hedge investor fund. Wrote a few books, a lot of books actually. He's pretty good, Ray Dalio. He's warning that U.S. debt is surging like we didn't know any better, right? We already knew that. But he's also saying this could lead to a civil war in the U.S. Could it lead to civil war? What's happening in Portland? What's happening in Chicago? Could that lead to a civil war in the U.S.? Well, it's possible. But that's what he's come out with some thoughts this morning. China is also on NVIDIA, their chips. They are really controlling it. They are searching anything going into China. They said anybody bringing these Chinese the NVIDIA chips into the country will be arrested. They're searching all the ports. They don't want any NVIDIA chips coming into the country. Probably they probably caught a few people bringing them in, but now they're really putting in knots to it. So UiPath is another country. Shares are up 4%. Let's take a look at it. Path. We looked at it yesterday. Actually, Gurkeet mentioned it. So it's up 4%. UiPath is breaking out nicely to the upside. This is on the news. The news is it surged at 18%. Automation software maker is gaining momentum and rising enthusiasm for another AI mention, driven by new partnership with major players such as OpenAI, NVIDIA. It's all those deals that are going on between the companies, and that's what's pushing this company, UiPath, to the upside. We mentioned it yesterday as it was going up. It's going up again today, and this could the next target could be around $20 on this stock. Okay, so that is what this one's doing. Let's take a look at some of the other stocks you guys mentioned in the chat here. There is a lot. Let me finish off with the news. APLD, the stock we looked at earlier, also climbing because of the FQ1 results. So Q1 results. Let's just go back to APLD quickly again. Applied Digital is again Q1 results pushing this stock to the higher levels. Okay. APLD, and what else is happening? ESTC. Let's take a look at this stock as well. Okay, this stock is pumping to the upside. This could have a nice breakout. It's already up $12 on it, and the news on this stock is basically shares are soaring. They raised revenue outlook on the analyst day on this stock. This is a company. Again, another software company from Netherlands. So they're raising they gone from 415 million revenue to forecasting like 1.69. So they're very, very heavy forecast on revenue to the upside. So again, there's nothing here to prove that, what's going on here, but they are raising again to the upside here. Okay, so that's what's running that on. Okay, UEC. UEC is a uranium stock, and I like it. I like this stock as it kind of came back here, pushed right back up. As long as it stays above this trend line, I like UEC. I sold originally at $15. Some of my position, I haven't sold it, all of it. But UEC uranium, I think it will continue to go up. It's up this morning to $13.95. Why? Because another mine is coming up online in December, and if that mine starts producing, I think the revenue goes up. And not only mention that, but the price of uranium keeps going up. Always, that's another thing you guys can always check. Why is this stock going up? Because the price of uranium is going up, right? So that's what you got to keep an eye on this market here. So that is UEC. I think it's a buy. What else on this here? Energy fuels. Okay, that's good. What else is it? Take a look at JBL. Okay, JBL is again holding. JBL has been it's a very bought burning company. It's quite an old company. I like this company, but I don't know if I like it at current price. Let's take a look at the financials on this one. Earnings, okay, but they're pretty good. I mean, the numbers have been always good on this company. I know this company for a very long time. They make a lot of electronics and stuff. A lot of revenue. Revenue recently has come down a little bit. Again, it's electronic. They make a lot of electronic stuff. See, electronic manufacturing. They're one of those companies originally made the tape recorder way back, I don't know, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. So 21.97 billion, still a good company, been around for a very long time. It's a steady growth, but fundamentals, let's take a look at it. Pretty cheap, yeah, looks fine, no problem. And if you want to buy this stock, if you have it, I would put a stop right here, $196. Okay, if you want to buy, if you have this stock above this, if that's fine. But 196 is a stop on this one. I talked about Serve already, Mr. Sharma, because Serve is coming out with issuing some shares. I sold my holdings this morning. Okay. The stock has coming to around 16.15. I sold it around 16.80 this morning. I will keep a close eye on it. I like their technology still. They're issuing shares this morning. That's why the stock has come down. So if it comes down far enough, I might buy it back. But right now, I'm just waiting on the sidelines on this one. Okay. But if you buy both now, you should. Yeah, definitely. Always manage your risk, guys. Always manage it. That's the best way to do play any stock is manage your risk. Just like I'm managing my risk on Serve. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? Levi. Anybody like Levi's? I like the company. They came out with an IPO a couple of years ago. Okay. I think the stock is Levi. Yeah, this one here. They came out with good guidance, and the stock has been going up nicely, but it's gone down this morning. They did their IPO somewhere around $20. I think. Where did they do? 22 back here. Yeah, around $20 here. And I like the guidance they give. They're making money. Somebody asked me way back here, should I told them to buy it. Long term was good on this stock. I still think long term this is going to much higher levels. These guys make jeans. I don't know if you guys wear jeans. I wear a lot of jeans over the years. They really make good jeans. So yeah, I'm if you want to wait for this dip to come to a little more, is definitely a buy. I think for long term, Levi Strat. So what else is coming out? Bristol Myers is buying a company called Orbital Therapeutics for 1.5 billion in cash. So just take a look what Bristol Myers is doing this morning. This is a U.S. Pharmaceutical company, BMY. Okay, so it's been sitting at sport down here. This is Bristol Myers is a very good company for long term, and if you want to buy it, it is a buy. But put a stop around $43 on this one. But I think it could turn around. It's really been beaten up to the downside. I believe it also pays a good dividend as well. 5.51. I think it's worth buying this company. For long term, I think this do well. It's 39 to 52 billion in revenue. Okay, so this it's a $90 billion company. So long term, I think it is headed back to the upside, and the revenue and the earnings really look good. They can keep paying that 5% dividend on Bristol Myers. Okay, so if anybody's looking for a good pharmaceutical company, just like Pfizer, this is one you can buy and hold for long term. What else is? Or DKNG. That's a gambling stock. I like DKNG. There was some news out on DKNG. It's been coming down. I think it's a buy at current at this board around here. It bounced off the $32 range. Football, NFL. There's a lot of betting going on sports. You got football. You got Raptors. Basketball, you got baseball going on. So I think in the short term, this is a buy. I think it can go back to $40-$50, at least $40. So from 34, $35, that's $5 gain to the upside. But if you want to put a stop in it, you can put a stop right there at 32. But I do think it's going to go back to the $40 range. Okay, so I think short term, it'll make you money, I think. But revenue, yeah, I saw that a little bit about the revenue, but I do think that I look at when you look at all these sports going on, that's what this DKNG is. They're the betting pool, right? They're the betting sports, and you can do so much online. I don't know. You guys look at the stock. You ever guys go look at the platform of how they bet on this? Because you'll be quite impressed. Okay, when you go bet on the one, don't start betting. I don't want anybody to go into gambling and stuff, but just to look at their platform is quite impressive. Okay, what you can bet on. You can bet on the first goal. You can bet on the last goal. It's all live, and they're making money at doing this stuff, live. So take a look at their platform. Okay, so uh, so on that news, quickly on that news, the huge raise on the big rise on the Canadian unemployment, the big jobs data here. And now Bank of Canada chances of getting a rate cut falls to 57% from 72%. Okay, so like I said, I will go into more details of these job data. I will go after Harvey does his market update. I will share that information with you a little bit cheaper. Okay, as after Harvey done his market update. So I will see you guys in about half an hour on this data. If you have more stocks, we'll talk about it then. And again, University of Michigan data is coming out at 10 o'clock today. We'll take a look at that. So thank you very much. We'll see you guys in about half an hour.
All right, what's up, guys? Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone is having a good Friday, last trading day here of the week. So let's make it a good one here. Trade safe today. It is